Hi, everybody. This is Eamon. Welcome to another Pat Monk Presents. And today, joining us all the way from Montreal, Canada, we have Kim, who is the CEO and founder of Phil. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, those who are listening in, we've listeners from all over who are maybe not familiar with Phil. Can you give us a quick download as what it is you do?
Yeah, there's a very big chance that nobody knows who Phil is. We're a really small company. We have less than a team of 20. We're basically a marketing and communications firm that's dedicated to nonprofits and charities. So we do all the typical services that another, typical ad agency would do, but we don't do it for corporate. We do it for good. And it's a lot of fun. It's really fulfilling. And we work with local charities, national charities, international charities, also some grant making organizations, so foundations and other socially minded businesses. So that's anybody who's trying to do good in the world, we'll help them do it better.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. And definitely, I'm sure you get out of bed with a smile on your face because it sounds like not so much doing something, but like a calling. And it's great to see people out there and helping nonprofits. So, in what you're doing, like, how do you get the word out? Like you're saying, you're doing business locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. I mean, what kind of different channels are you using to get the word out about Phil?
I think one of the things that's helped us a lot is that, we into our 24th year of business this fall. So we've been around for quite some time and we've always been an early adopter. I love geeking out on technology. And so, when we started in 1999, having a web presence and then quickly getting into email marketing and then social media when it took off, we've always been, right at the forefront of those marketing activities because first of all, we had to master them ourselves in order to be able to deliver the services to our clients. And just our sheer curiosity of how to do marketing and communications better to wider audiences led us to using those tools. So our website is really our primary business development tool because it's the first place that people are going to come to check us out. And then we do regular email marketing. So we have a good database that we've built up through different channels. Back before COVID, we were doing some traditional networking activities. We've also hosted a ton of webinars. So one of the things that we've learned in our niche is that a lot of people going into marketing initiatives in the charitable space, they don't know how marketing works. That's not their it's not their jam. So they need a lot of education. And so we do a lot of thought leadership. And I think that really makes a difference in getting our name out there and especially establishing credibility. So they come to our website to check out our blogs. They learn a lot there. And then they see that we're a pretty cool company and they want to work with us. So it's really nice.
That's great. And like, yeah, I like the way you said blog and the website, obviously for business development. I mean, how do you find that balance? I mean, is it more information or, is it, do people come to the blog originally and then convert? I mean, how do you find that mixture?
Yeah, so some of it's coming from social media links because we'll be sharing from our partners. We try to promote as many smart things as we can and do some cross promotion with other organizations and companies. A lot of word of mouth as well, so when people end up landing on our website, we're seeing because we've really spent a lot of time working on our content and studying content strategy, we're seeing that people are spending more time on our website. And the more time they spend on our website, the likelier they are to convert. And so they might start by landing on something that they were curious about, like if they want to know how to put together a good annual report, they'll come to the blog. That's one of our most trafficked blogs on the site is how to do a good annual report. It has been going strong for over 8 years. I can't believe how well that blog performs. Anyways, so they'll come there and then they'll get curious and then they'll see like, well, who are the people at Phil? And then they'll travel over to the team page and they'll click on our different bios and get a sense for who we are. And then they'll be like, well, I wonder if they can do the services that I want. And then they'll go over to our services section and start clicking around there. So we're starting to see that there are some points of entry, but then the more more they spend the time on the site, then the more likely they are to reach out. And then they usually either use the chat bot to ask us some questions or try to book a meeting, or they fill out the contact form that they can use on our website. And they also have a chance to sign up for our newsletter, because that's in the bottom of our website. So that's where we're really trying to get people, is to show the value of the content we're producing so that they sign up for the newsletter, because once we have them, then they'll get 10 newsletters a year, and we can stay in touch with them more.
Perfect. Nice little touch point. And, with this kind of switching gears a little bit and talking more about you, obviously the CEO and the founder of the company. I mean, what keeps you busy at Bill on a daily basis?
Oh my God, what doesn't? I think one of the biggest changes for me in the recent 3-4 years is really coming into the role of CEO. I didn't even want to call myself that before. I liked being the creative director. I liked being everything but CEO, but I didn't see myself as a traditional business person, right? And CEO sounded so stuffy and boring that I really didn't want to even acknowledge that was my role. So, but as the team grew, and as I grew out of my creative roles, directly, I mean, I'm still involved in the creative aspects of the business, but with a little bit more distance, because I've hired wonderful creative people to do the work. So for me, my journey has really been about, how do I go from being like a production-based person? Because I started my career as a graphic designer, and I just started building the business not having a clue what I was doing. I didn't go to business school. I didn't know what I was doing. But I was just so passionate about helping this sector. And so things just kept growing and growing and growing. And as they did, my responsibilities changed, and and the responsibilities grew. So I basically, primarily on a daily basis, take care of business development. So I'm the face of the company, and I meet with folks mostly on Zoom calls all day, every day, for up to 6 or 8 calls a day. And I do a lot of exploratory calls, learning about what their issues are, trying to figure out how our services could be a good fit for them. And then I have oversight on the team. So I make sure that all of our account directors and creative team are delivering the work that we've promised. And it's just great. I don't see the days fly by. There's never 2 days alike. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, sounds like it. It sounds like you're pretty busy, but in a good way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we're moving through our interview, I want to jump into the quick fire round. So if you're ready for the hot seat, let me know.
I'm ready.
Okay. So what was the last book you read, or maybe currently reading, Kim?
I am reading The President's Daughter by Bill Clinton and James Patterson, and it's a thriller book, and it's just for fun, because I do so much reading for work that. But for work, I'm reading a really cool pricing strategy book, because that's one thing that I've always been curious about, is like how to properly price our work.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have balance. It's good to switch off and have some downtime, because what I find is sometimes when I'm reading a non-work book, that's when I have some breakthroughs.
Exactly.
Like some of the best inventions in the world came when people were in the bathroom. Completely. Yeah. So with that as well. So if there was no boundaries in technology, what was one thing that, if you had a magic wand, you could have fixed in the company today, maybe to make it a little bit easier, or maybe automation?
I think we're still working on it. We moved to the cloud many years ago, and we have all these great tools in place. The tools aren't really the problem. It's getting everybody to use them properly and getting to use them well. So my focus would be more on the human, the what's happening between the chair and the keyboard, more than the technology aspect, because the technology is all there. Everything that we need anyways to do our job well is readily available to us. And I think that we had so many hardships during the pandemic, but one of the things that did come through was just giving us all permission to work virtually and work well at a distance. And so we're having such a great time enjoying working with all sorts of people from all over the world, which we didn't really do before COVID. So it's great. We're really enjoying technology and everything it has to offer.
Exactly. And I definitely agree. I mean, there's so many bad things because of COVID, but if there was only one good thing that came out of it, it was being able to work remote or jobs that people said you can never ever, Kim, it's impossible. We can't do this. You have to meet, and suddenly people are able to do it. So I think it's changed the work environment forever in certain industries completely. So as the CEO and the founder, I mean, if you could go back in time, okay, to when, Phil started, if you could go back to your first week, your first year, your first, what would you do differently, or what advice would you give your younger self?
I probably tell myself to cut myself some slack, and to probably believe in my own capabilities, because like I said, I didn't have any formal training. I was really just going by my gut and what my intuition taught me, and I second guessed a lot, and rightfully so, because I had no clue what I was doing. And so, I think just all that uncertainty and worrying about it, because I was trying to break through in a sector that there was nobody like us before we showed up in our space, at least locally where I live. And so I had no point of reference that what I was about to embark on was even going to work. So I was always questioning, like, is this going to work? Can I make this happen? Do I have what it takes? And I just wish I could tell my younger self that, like, you're putting in the hard work. You're doing, you're not going to make all the right moves, but you're going to make enough right moves to be able to keep going. And so, yeah. And I probably need to remind myself of that still a little bit today.
Believe in yourself. Yeah, great point. So now that we're coming to the end, I want to give you the last word. Imagine if people who are tuning in, they forgot everything that we just talked about, Kim. And if you want to leave them with one thing about Phil, what would it be?
I think one of the things that we've gotten really good at over the years is mastering relationships and really listening to what our clients need. And so that's been the key to our success. And what we're also trying to do with our clients and our collaborators and our partners, whoever we're working with, is to foster those relationships and really get everybody to just be more human in what they are, in what they're doing, be more empathetic in what they're doing, recognize that, we're all going through things and that not every day is going to be rosy, and just being patient with one another. And that kindness can go such a long way. And I think that's one of the things that I'm the most proud of at Phil, is that, everybody does our work with such kindness and such generosity, that it just makes every day so enjoyable. Even the hard days are good.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. If you want to find out a little bit more about Phil, it's phil.ca, phil.ca. So definitely our listeners can go over there and check you out. So thank you so much, Kim, for taking the time to jump on our call, on our podcast. And I look forward to hearing more from Phil in the future. So all the best and bye-bye. So that is it, listeners. I'll see you on the next episode.